عليك بتقوى الله إن كنت غافلا يأتيك بالأرزاق من حيث لا تدري فكيف تخاف الفقر والله.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear listener, welcome to another episode of our ongoing series, The Fruit of Fasting, where we are discussing the benefits that accrue to us, bi'idhnillah, if we clothe ourselves with taqwa. Today we are going to discuss a concept that is so well known and well sought by all of us, the concept of rizq. Subhanallah. How is rizq and taqwa, how are they combined? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Talaq, He tells us, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, and whoever has taqwa of Allah, He provides from him from where he does not accept. Subhanallah. We also see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Tur, where He tells us to worship Him, He says, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَن يُطْعِمُونَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الرَّزَّاقُ ذُو الْقُوَّةِ الْمَتِينُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He tells us the purpose of our lives, and I did not create mankind and jinn except that they should worship me. I seek no provision from them, nor do I need them to feed me. Indeed, Allah alone is the true provider, and He is the ever mighty. So subhanallah, we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that our purpose is to worship Him, and we also recognize that what is taqwa? Taqwa is doing everything that Allah has commanded us and we know that He loves, and avoiding everything that He has told us not to do, hence creating a barrier between us and the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the Sahih Hadith of it's found in both Bukhari and Muslim, and it was collected by An-Nawawi, we find that on the authority of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he tells us that the Messenger of Allah is quoted as saying, sorry, corona. Verily the creation of each one of you is brought together in his mother's womb for 40 days in the form of a nutfa. And then he becomes an alaqa, which is a clot, for a like period, then a mudgha for a like period. Then there is sent to him the angel who blows his soul into him, and who is commanded with 4 matters: to write down his rizq, his lifespan, his actions, whether he will be shaqi or not, yani basically whether he will be happy or unhappy. And the hadith goes on. Subhanallah, this hadith does not tell us to leave everything to fate, because remember, Allah knows the future, we do not. So if I left this pen, it was written for me, and if I had left it and not lifted it, it was also written for me. So it is our actions that determine, but Allah already knows what we will do. Yeah. So why is this an important clarification to make? Because there are people who shamelessly will sin or will not fulfill the commandments or refuse to give charity, and then they will say, but it was decreed for me. No, my dear, it is what you do. It is your actions. So subhanallah, back to this concept of rizq. What is rizq? Is it just money? Subhanallah, no. Rizq is everything that, according to the scholars, they say, it is everything that brings benefit and good and repels from us harm. So I'll give an example which was narrated which was told to us by one of the da'is to Islam. His name is Yusha Evans, and he speaks about a day where it was time for him to pray Jumu'ah prayer. And we know that for the men it is obligatory for them to pray Jumu'ah prayer in the masajid. So Yusha Evans, may Allah love him and increase him in guidance, he goes to his boss and he tells him, boss, it's time for me to go to pray Jumu'ah. And so his boss was a difficult man, and he told him that from the story it seems he was also not Muslim, but I stand corrected. The video is on YouTube, you can also go look for it. So he says that the boss told him, no, if you leave, you're fired. So you see the point, it's obey the human being or obey Allah. Do what Allah commands you, do what your boss commands you. Yusha Evans, and we hope that he's from the people of taqwa, because we do not purify anyone, it's only Allah who does. He decided to go to Jumu'ah prayer. So what happens as a default? He lost his job, which is one of the it comes under the umbrella of rizq. So Yusha Evans went to pray salah in the masjid, and subhanallah, because you see what does Allah say? وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتِسِبْ. He provides from him from where he does not expect. Yusha Evans meets this man there. He's, I think, Palestinian, and he was looking for someone to run his business for him. So subhanallah, it is by the fact that he decided, no, I'm going to pray Jumu'ah prayer, that he got this new job, and he says that it was even a better deal than the one that he quote unquote lost. Some of the Salaf, they used to say that whatever a person loses, there's a substitute. You lose your husband or your wife, Allah can give you another husband or wife, subhanallah. Anything you lose a job, you can get another job. You lose a friend, you can get another friend. But whoever loses Allah, there is no substitute, because there is no other Allah. There's only one Allah, subhanallah. So we find that in this concept we understand, and from the hadith of An-Nawawi we understand that first of all, your rizq is already decreed. Yeah, one of the Salaf, he was asked, how are you this pious, or how are you worshipping Allah this much? And then he said that it is because I recognized that my rizq is already written and no one can take it away from me. Whenever you eat something, or wherever you get a job, wherever you succeed in a deal, or wherever you get a spouse, whatever it is that you get that falls under the umbrella of rizq, Allah had already decreed it for you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does he tell us in Suratul sorry, it's not Tur, it's Dariyat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what did he say? He said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ رِزْقٍ وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَن يُطْعِمُونَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الرَّزَّاقُ ذُو الْقُوَّةِ الْمَتِينُ. So what does Allah tell us? Allah tells us to worship Him, subhanallah. And if we worship Him, and what is worship? Worship is doing everything that Allah has told you to do. Living your life in ibadah, doing everything that Allah has commanded you to do, and avoiding everything that He has commanded you to avoid, which includes, of course, obeying the messenger. So subhanallah, if you do that, the guarantee is you will get rizq. I leave you with this very beautiful hadith in our Tirmidhi, where the messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam, subhanallah, he told us, if you are to rely upon Allah, if you are to have tawakkul, and tawakkul is from ibadah, if you are to have tawakkul upon Allah, He would provide for you as He provides for the birds. They leave their nests in the morning when they're hungry, and they come back in the evening when they're fed. So why are you stressed? Why are you worried? Why are you fearful of bankruptcy? Why are you taking riba? Why are you stealing? Why are you doing all these things when you know without a shadow of a doubt that it is Allah that provides? Subhanallah, may Allah make us from the people of taqwa, and we seek from Him. Allahumma inna as'aluka rizqan tayyiban. We seek from you provision that is good. أقول قولي هذا. Whatever good that I have said, it is from Allah, and whatever mistakes that I have made, it is from my soul and Iblis. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And our last call is Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.